Let me, before introducing our big voice of the day, which is Porinju Veliyath, go across to my colleague Ajay. The key talking point, the last few sessions, actually running into weeks, has been what's happening with the broader markets. The mid caps and the small caps have been bleeding over the past 3 months. What are the factors leading to the sell-off in the broader markets? Ajay actually puts some context to the discussion that we'll have in a short while with Porinju. Ajay?
Oh, that's correct, Tanveer. After having multi-bagger returns for the last 3 years or 4 years, the first 3-4 months of this calendar have been extremely painful for being a mid-cap or a small-cap investor or a trader. Sharp cracks are happening in the last 3 months, and recovery is actually not in sight, at least. The interesting point is that not so high quality stocks where there are earnings, there are absence of earnings, those are falling in line with even decent quality stocks where earnings kind of support is also there. So right now market is just being extremely harsh. Surely there is an element of unwinding by traders from the HNI side, a lot of leverage kind of forced leverage selling also being seen, but there is also a large element of churning which is happening by the mid cap small cap funds because of SEBI circular that they have to name their exact funds, and any category, the categories have to be very simplified, and that's why a lot of churning which is happening, because of which good quality mid cap small caps are also facing the brunt. In fact, I have not even taken the low quality or not so great quality stocks. Just look at the kind of damage some of the stocks actually have come. Surely there is also a point that some of the small cap universe stocks had gone way beyond their fair price and decided trading to premium versus large caps, discounting FY 2021 earnings. But look at the list of damage which has happened. Stocks which have come down. Rain Industries, decent earning last couple of quarters, including this one, down 40% in 3 months. Jet Airways down 45%. Surely crude also rallied. Hindustan Construction, some of the other stocks will also come up here on the screen. So right now the market is not differentiating between good quality, bad quality. If mid cap is there, Canfin Homes down 30%, Delta, good earnings, down 35%. So absolutely no discrimination right now, and it's being a difficult time to be a mid cap, small cap. But of course, we'll take the discussion forward with the king of small caps, mid caps, joining us on the show today, who will probably paint a rosier picture, saying that maybe the value is arriving and one should start cherry picking.
Okay, Porinju Veliyath joins us now. So Porinju, what should we start with? Mood point in small and mid cap stocks, or how was your European holiday?
The holiday was great, Nikunj. Thank you for that. See, this kind of sell-offs and, as Ajay told, the harsh markets, it's not very unusual to Indian investors. But it is true that, the short-term investors or the trading community gets, more damage when such things happen. If you remember the 2016, the first quarter, the January, February, March, we had almost a similar kind of situation. But that time, even the Nifty and Sensex were going down almost in tandem with the mid caps and small caps in general. Maybe this time it's more harsh that way. See, everybody will agree. Markets had some excesses, going by the November, December, January kind of movements in the small and mid caps. A lot of them were being operated. In many of them, company managements were very actively involved. They all wanted a better price for the QIPs. There are all kind of stocks in India. But I am seeing the positive side of it. The Indian households, they have just started investing in equities. We are a country, anybody will agree, we are very highly under invested in equities as an asset class. Indians were always taking refuge in the tangible assets like the land or the real estate assets, the gold, and at the best, the fixed deposits. I think there is a small interruption to that kind of investing culture in India. Basically, one of the main attributes to that is the major reforms happening in this country, and which we always used to discuss. In the good markets, we used to talk about the transformation of the economy from black to white and from unorganized to organized. See, when the markets goes down by 100, 200 points or 500 points, people forget all those positives for Indian economy. All is well in India, in Indian economy, but this uptrends and downtrends, it's cyclic, it happens. So there is, in the uptrend, there are excesses happening. The same thing happens when it goes down also. So people have got a tendency to sell in a declining market. Always there will be experts or amateurs talking that markets will go down further. Even at the bottom, that will be the talk. So I feel this is a wonderful opportunity for new money, new investors to invest in some of India's great businesses in the mid cap and small caps.
Porinju, your newsletter to your shareholders made quite a wave, and I quite admire the fact that you've come out and said that look, the selling in the mid and the small cap space has been excruciating and there is nothing you're doing right now. So what should be an advice to someone who has actually lost 15, 20, 25% in small and mid cap stocks? I mean, is it time to just get out, take that pain, or stay put? A year from now, maybe 12 months from 18 months from now, this markets would be higher and good quality mid cap stocks, the party is not over, that this is a downturn and eventually they'll recover?
First of all, Nikunj, I don't believe that investors in India has lost money. No investor in India have lost money. I can assure you that. See, this kind of market trends, it happens once in a while. It's not unusual in India. We have seen it many times. Now I am doing portfolio management in the last 15 years. And all the while, we have been highly mostly into the mid cap and some large small cap stocks in portfolio management. And still we have a wonderful track record of performance for the 15 years. This is happening to every true investor in this country. And at some point of time, see, in 2008-9 it happened. Markets went down by around 50%. Portfolios, even of great value investors also might have lost 25, 30, 40% in the values. So that doesn't mean they lost money. Who lost money? Who have been trading or gambling in the market with the leveraged positions? They have to square it off at certain levels. They lose money. So it is wrong to say investors lost money. So that is the first myth which I want to break. Investors who invested just before the crash in 2008 also have made money in this market. If they were prudent enough and if it was a rational investment what they made, and they had the patience at the lower levels when markets crashed. When markets goes down and decline and crash, the prices go irrational. See, that's why I tweeted today, lower the price, higher the value. And vice versa. This is the real important thing every investor should remember. And nothing has gone wrong in this country, believe me.
It is the case, Porinju. Good morning. I think the worry is really the pace of the fall. And how it started with the broader markets. It's not really come in because of any local or global triggers. Oil is a bit of a worry, but that would impact the economy as a whole and have a spillover impact on the markets across the board, not just mid caps and small caps. So how much more pain do you think there is? As you pointed out, in the past we've seen falls to the tune of 50-odd%. This month itself, it's been a case of sell in May and go away, but sell only mid caps in May and go away. How much more do you think are we likely to see?
Yeah, what I'm trying to do, there is no pain for investing community. The pain is for traders. So selling in May or kind of things are applicable only to traders. Please understand this. There is a huge difference between investing and trading. So this whatever the market talk, see, when things goes down, when the market's in a downswing, when people, the traders lose money, always the negatives pop up. It can be crude oil price, it can be some other geopolitical issues, or it can be some global, people can talk about Trump or North Korea. All these kind of things pop up. But market, this has been always there in the market, in the world, in the country, in the economy, every year in the last maybe 200 years. Still, equity investors have been creating huge wealth, outperforming all other asset class in the world, in India. So I think, see, when things are bad, when everybody is discussing negative, when people talk about, further downside, further pain, how much further pain, all this kind of, these phrases itself is wrong. And actually, the media using these phrases create more panic among the investing community. It is actually, what we should understand. We are talking about an asset class, equity, the ownership in Indian companies, India's listed companies, to be precise. We have around over 5,000 companies listed in Indian stock markets. Out of that, around 2,600, 700, they are traded on a daily basis. Some of them, maybe I would say there are something like, out of these 2,500, 600 companies, maybe around 1,500 companies are real companies. The remaining are fraud or bogus or, I would say a lot of low-class companies, which some of them do not have any business model. Still, they are listed and traded. So I will bring it down to say 800 companies in India, which are investable quality with some kind of a business model, a worthy business model, and which are relevant going forward in Indian economy and for Indians' consumption. We have 800 companies. So the ownership of these 800 companies, I'm telling you, is the best asset class in the whole world for an Indian to invest as an opportunity as on today. There is nothing better than that. And today, after some of the stocks have fallen very in a bad way, very in a sharp manner because of talking of all these kind of negatives, it's a wonderful opportunity. And now, so these companies, please understand
about
one
the
thing.
opportunity. Let's talk about the opportunity. It is a wonderful opportunity. So, given your letter to shareholders that you're committed to building on their investments, what is it that you would buy in this market? What quality mid caps do you think are in the value zone, even though the prices have come down, as you pointed out?
What quality means? I may buy low quality mid caps and high quality mid caps. I have no there is no constraint. We can buy all kind of stocks. Everything has got a price. Everything has got a value. And the value is what, determining the value is the whole thing in the stock market expertise or the equity investing expertise. So that way, that's why I'm telling you, I brought down this number to say 800 companies with quality, investable quality, 800 companies. So this quality is again a misused, word in the market. What is the quality? The quality could be regarding the management quality or the business model or the balance sheet quality. Which quality people talk about? So there can be an amazing company. I used to talk, some time back about chore companies. And a lot of people have been trolling me with that. I still hold my view. India, it's a very special opportunity to buy some chore companies which are turning around in their attitude. And it is happening. I have been talking this the last 3 years. And a lot of such chore companies, what I had in mind, they have become multi-baggers already. And that opportunity still continues. So this quality and all what we talk, it depends. How do you see, how do you look at the company, the stock, and the value? So I think among these 800 companies, you have to be smart enough to choose your stock using the common sense approach, the value and the price.
Fair point. You rightly said that if you are a buyer and if what you wanted to buy, if price of that merchandise has come down, you should actually be happy. And I think that is the biggest truism which we need to remind our viewers, that equity as an asset class will be volatile. It's an auction market, prices will change, but when prices go lower for a business which you wanted to buy 2 days ago, you should be happy because prices have come down. So what I want to know and what I want to understand is that post numbers and after the recent run up, have you identified something new? Are you adding more to your existing holdings? Are you of the view that, look, it's time to reorient my portfolio because markets have corrected, I need to realign? So have you made any significant changes in your approach, portfolio or stocks which you currently own?
See, by the December, January, I don't know, a lot of people have noticed that we have been buying into some larger company. The so-called high quality stocks means, I still differ with that definition. With the higher P's, with the more margin of safety. Now, but at the same time, today, the way markets, the stocks in mid cap and small caps in general have fallen, it gives a very special opportunity, a pocket of opportunity out there, where you may need to, presume certain things, where the quality, the stock is not considered to be high quality for certain reasons, or there are some negatives in some of the companies. See, companies without any negative news will be overpriced. That is the style in India always. But even such companies, because of the higher economic growth happening in this country, like an HDFC Bank or some of these Colgates or Liver, ITC, they go on giving very good and impressive CAGR for the long-term investors. there can be some pockets or some years of underperformance. So it's all, it's all not very easy, Nikunj. So I have been, I still strongly believe this is the time for investors to remember some of the positives which we used to discuss a year ago or 2 years ago. When we talk about the same thing, I want to tell you, we are talking about Indian economy is moving a lot from black to white and unorganized to organized. Don't forget it when the markets are down. This is the appropriate time, a better time to look kind of, the trends, the structural changes happening, positive changes happening in Indian economy. So I talked about these 800 companies. Please understand, these 800 companies, constitute the majority of India's economy. And we should not forget at this time conveniently about our 1,200 million people, all those kind of positives which we used to discuss earlier when the markets were good. Now people want to talk about the crude price or whatever negatives you can identify, you talk it. That's the wrong way.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you a couple of follow-up questions and I'll be very quick here. As per the disclosure, the last stock which you bought, at least what I've noticed, was Hawkins. Before that, it was Vatek Vabag. I have not spoken to you about those two stocks in a public forum. Let's understand your rationale.
It's true. I think because we bought more than 5% here to disclose in Vatek Vabag, and I think Hawkins also came in because of the block deal came in public domain. Of course, Kaya is the one which our largest holding in our portfolio management. We are holding nearly 15% of the company. We are still buying. So, these are all are some themes and some ideas which we believe has capability to create wealth in the coming 5-10 years in India, in Indian economy. So there is that is how we are looking at companies and businesses. And in the course, sometimes we deviate from this kind of qualities, and we may get into some smaller ideas, unidentified or undiscovered ideas. And actually, that is where we have created more wealth, like a future consumer, which we discussed long back at 10 rupees, went to 65, 70. Now it is around 55. Still, it's a 5-bagger. So this kind of, we have to be flexible. If you go on buying only the high quality stocks, I think that is also a good way. I have never opposed to buying high quality stocks. But when sometimes our economy, the structure of the economy or changes happening can give you a great opportunity to pick some other kind of stocks to make wealth, at least in the medium term. So that is why India is so, we are so dynamic kind of an economy. The kind of, I always used to talk, the kind of the segments India has and the sub-segments India has, everything has got a relevance. Everything sells in India because of our demographic structure. So I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Excuse me. Porinju, you've said the importance of value. But if I look at the top 3 holdings, Kaya, Vatek Vabag or Hawkins, some would argue that they are not turnaround stories. They are well discovered, good companies which have great business and good earnings trajectory. Now that's not the way you invest. I mean, what I know of you is that you like to shake some trees, shake some rocks, hunt for that next treasure which is buried beneath those trees. You like to buy unknown names. How come you've gone for rather well discovered known companies this time?
I do both, Nikunj. This is nothing new. Now people came to know now. I buy both the kind of stocks, the high quality, well established businesses also. See why the last 2-3 years I was talking about the turnaround stories, because that was a best theme to play, and people have created huge wealth by doing it. So maybe it's time to, when things are uncertain, when those kind of stocks have already gone up manifold and, already created great wealth, maybe it's time to look into the other kind of companies. But again, that cycle is also over. Now these kind of stocks have corrected sharply and it is values are emerging, and some of them are, I believe, they have deep values for investors to look at this point of time. But I don't really want to discuss individual stocks. Actually, being too transparent on media also given me some damage, to be very frank. People have all been, the trading community buying into the stocks, and when things are bad, they sell off and the stock goes down beyond what it would have gone down. So that is also not very healthy. The opportunities, I have no doubt about the opportunities. Earlier you talked about Vietech, Baba, why did I buy it? See, it's a theme, it's a water theme. Now this company is not doing very well in the last 2 years. So I think it is at an inflection point. It's a wonderful company with a strong balance sheet. And if you take away those 2-3 accidents happened in the company's last 2 years history, I think this is at an inflection point. But I don't know, in the future, there can be problems again happening. So nobody can really predict exactly how this company will work, because these are depending on the orders coming in, government policies, which are not, in India, we never policies.
Porinju, a lot of the times buying into stocks is also one's judgment call and one's own analysis and the way one would look at the balance sheet and the financials. So I think that much credit your investors and your clients would keep with you. Just as a wrap-up note, because we've had an extensive discussion about the mayhem in the small caps. Are you buying right now? Are you going to wait out a bit before buying? For a lot of people out there who may not be your clients, viewers tuning in who perhaps bank on you for advice, how would you characterize approaching risk return in this sort of a market environment for the broader markets, for small caps and mid caps?
We are buying aggressively now in the markets. In fact, we have the record inflow of funds in the last few days, especially after my letter to investors a week ago. We have a record inflow of funds, record number of people joining portfolio management. And so that's what is happening at Equity Intelligence. And another thing, the media reporting, including Economic Times, they are showing some penny stocks which I bought in my personal name some time back and maybe not holding today. They are showing it as our Equity Intelligence stocks. So that's a very wrong idea. We have very solid kind of businesses under portfolio management, and some of the stocks have gone down from the recent high. That doesn't mean anything. We are very confident and comfortable. So we are, and this will happen. Now, whatever have been happening to Equity Intelligence in the last 1 week, a lot of new clients joining and a lot of people after my letter adding capital, existing investors. So this will happen to everybody, all intermediaries. And as far as the money flow is concerned, now SIPs, I don't think it has gone down much other than some small marginal decline in the monthly collection of SIP around 6,000-7,000 crores. So this will also intensify once that confidence comes back. See, a lot of amateurs in the market, they are talking, don't look at the market till 2019 elections. In such a way, we get elections every, once in 25 years. See, elections happens very often. And I think there's some 6, 7, 8 elections coming up in the and including the general elections in 2019. So elections is good because that shows that we are still a democracy.
Right.
Negatively.
Right. Now, Porinju, we've had a great conversation with you. Thanks very much. I think as long as you're transparent and open with your clients and viewers at large, the conviction will be with the approach that you follow in the markets and to investing. Thanks very much once again for joining in today.
Thank you.
Okay, keeping it with more opinion on what's happening with the broader